We are Gold Ivy, a health company dedicated to simplifying health and wellness. Tune in as we search to find the deep, real, and raw truth. We're here to talk big, no room for small talk. It is our mission to inspire, seek growth, simplify the action steps, and build confidence.
You decide what works for your daily life and how to transform our lessons into your gold. Are you ready to step into your power? Now is the time. Join us on the fearless pursuit of self-discovery and growth.
This is Ivy Unleashed,
a Gold Ivy production.
If you struggle with digestion, energy, bloat, acne, mood, fatigue, listen up. I spent 4 years, 50 plus doctors, and tens of thousands of dollars to heal my gut so you don't have to. I've created the what to do guide I wish I had before spending years navigating the overwhelming amount of information and conflicting doctors' opinions out in the gut health world. My help, I can't figure out what's wrong with me. The How to Heal Your Gut Starter Kit is now available, and the response to it online has been incredible. On top of what I wish I would have known, I also wish this information would have been easily accessible for me. Because of that, it's available to you on the shop page of our website for only $9.99. Included in my guide is what helped me and countless others heal their gut, along with chronic fatigue, acne, hormone imbalances, and so much more. You'll learn what foods to stay away from, what foods to eat, a 4-week gut healing eating plan, lifestyle tools to aid your healing process, and 2 of my go-to favorite recipes. So head over to our shop page on our website, goldivyhealthco.com, and remember, happy gut, happy life. You can heal. Let me help you. Everyone, we're celebrating today. If you are listening, you are about to be in for a wild ride because we're taking you back to Season 2 of Ivy Unleashed. This is our finale episode. We are going to reflect on what all happened this season and tease a little Season 3 because it's going to be unlike anything you've experienced from us so far.
Yeah, I feel like it's hitting me right now that, there's a lot of stories in this season, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of resilience, and just these badass entrepreneurs and thought leaders that have really helped transform our brains, our hearts, our lives.
Yeah, and the feedback from our audience transformed them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Before we recorded, we're looking back at all of the episodes, Season 2, like, how did we fit all of these in? Oh my gosh, we have been busy. And story after story, entrepreneur after entrepreneur, but all of them had a similar message of hope and resiliency. And that's why we started this podcast, was to show people that there is beauty in the hard things, that ivy grows in hard places, and that's where the true gold is. I heard a quote the other day that said, "The wound is where light is let in." And if we didn't have any pain in our life, we wouldn't see the light. And to hear these incredible stories from people who have been so gracious with letting us be their vessel, sharing their message for the first time, sharing client stories, showing that everyone's path to inner freedom is different. And there's so many different tools they can take along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I was looking back at the list of the people, I just every person that we talked with this season, I just sent them some gratitude. And I just want to thank you all so much for letting us in. Like Brooke said, a lot of people, it was the first time sharing. I'm thinking of Kaylee. I'm thinking of Jolene, these stories, Allie, they were so vulnerable. And to be honest, those are the episodes that get the most listens because people share them.
And they need them.
Right.
You don't know how much people need to hear your message. You think you live it every day, but anytime Andrea and I are vulnerable with what we're going through, it's immediate connection. That's what the world needs more of.
Yeah, and I think you hear when someone like Allie talks through losing her husband, or the abuse that Jolene experienced and Kaylee experienced, it's like you see yourself in it, or you see someone you love in it, and then to hear how they got through it. It's so nice to have those step-by-step, like, what did you think? And then what was your next move? Because you, like you said, connection, you see yourself in those things. And then it's just like reading a book. Like, you want to learn how to do something, you read how somebody else did it. And so we just want to encourage you, if you have a story, if you've been through something, use it to light other people up. Use it to reflect on where you're at now and how you got through it, and pat yourself on the back and let's celebrate together. And, you know, I think also you need to wait till you're ready. A lot of people say, like, I'm finally ready to share this. That's like what a lot of people say. And so, you know, don't do it if you're not ready, but we're here whenever you are, because that's what inspires people. That's the things that go viral are when it's authentically real and raw, and it's because people need to hear those messages.
Yeah, and we want to uplift your voice. Alan Stein Jr., he said, you know, a candle doesn't lose its light by lighting another candle, or doesn't lose its flame. However he worded it. Sorry, Alan. And that is something that has stuck with me, because that's what we've done from day one. Like, there is room for everyone. There are so many podcasts out there, and Andrew and I easily could have said, no one's going to listen to us. Why us? But we had this calling on our hearts of, no one is you, and no one's going to do it the way that you two are. And so we've had so many entrepreneurs on, like Alan Stein Jr., like Terry Cole, like Megs, who we just recorded with a couple days ago, and she even said that, like, no one is you, and that is your superpower. So whether you're ready to tell your story or start your business, like, this is your time to do what sets your soul on fire. And so what I think is so beautiful with season 2 is it's been a mix of inspirational stories, of badassery, of we can do hard things. Think about Tansy's episode, like, chase your dreams. So whatever mood you're in, like, you can find an episode that speaks to you. And so as we take a little bit of a break to really launch season 3 and something new that we're working on, really excited to announce, so stay tuned. We're going to share at the end of the episode. We want you to go back and listen. Whatever mood you're in, whatever you need, you will find it in one of these many episodes that we spent season 2 on.
Just curious, when you look back on season 2, what were some of, like, your favorite episodes, or like that really spoke to you?
I think definitely Tansy, because she's a dancer, and I love that, and the energy. And right now, like, I'm all about energy. I know that going through a healing journey, like, to feel good, I need energy, and that's exactly what she is. And she also just shared so many beautiful nuggets about stepping into your power and go where you're celebrated. Hardest worker in the room, went through some shit and isn't afraid to you know, share that this isn't easy, but it's my truth. And so she just got me fired up. So I loved that. I loved how real and raw she was. I loved Alan Stein Jr., of course, and the whole experience with him of coming here, coming to Minnesota, like fate.
So much fun, too.
Just how our paths crossed.
Yeah. Well, and I think Alan shows, like, you know, we get a really inside view on how people treat each other, like in business. Some people treat you like you could have been an email, and some people say, hey, I'm a keynote speaker, but I would love for you to come and be my VIP guest. And also, should we work out together? And I will come to your house if you want. We're like, this guy who's worked with Kobe Bryant, who's interviewed with Ed Milet, was so authentic and personable and warm and funny. And those people, although they may have a huge platform and you may think that they're superficial because they have nice things, a lot of them aren't. They're very down to earth. And he was so helpful and kind and has connected us some really cool people. And so it's been cool to see how people treat you in this world. When your platform starts elevating, as ours has, how people treat you. And it's awesome that there are some really cool people out there that we've been able to sit down with.
Yeah. What about you? I'm curious.
I keep thinking of, like, so I have this moment sometimes when we're recording, because this to me is, like, I feel like my calling, what I've wanted to do. And it feels like I'm in the right place when I'm in this uncomfortable chair. And There's a few people that when we were interviewing them, I was crying, like happy tears, grateful tears. Like, I cannot believe I am sitting in this chair. And it happened 3 times to me this season. It happened with Dr. Rachel Allen because her message was so challenging to me to embrace your sensuality. And she talked about sex, and it's stuff that's super challenging for me. And I just felt like she really helped me grow as a person. I couldn't believe she was sitting down with us. Her book was incredible.
Well, she clearly transformed you because then you went and did a pole dancing class.
Yes. And then I had that moment with Jen Diaz too. She's just this beautiful person inside and out, that the way that she speaks just moves my heart. Like, everything she writes, I just feel like I just always want more from her. And so when she was on the screen, I was like crying, and I was hoping she wasn't noticing it, but I just couldn't believe that someone that speaks the way she speaks was talking with us. And then it happened with Terry Cole too, who wrote Boundary Boss. And that book is just a game changer, especially for women. And I just think that book is going to change lives, and it has, and it continues to. And the way that she spoke on the podcast was so powerful and like hit me like a dagger in the heart. Like, oh, she's the person that I feel like especially women need to hear from. And so it was cool because that's the type of voice we've been wanting and dreaming about elevating, and to have her take time with us felt really special.
Oh my gosh. So grateful for her, for Jen, Dr. Rachel Allen.
I keep saying names though, because I loved all of them. I wish I could go through everybody's name because everybody gave something so cool, and I wouldn't want to take any episode out.
Yeah. Like,
everything had its purpose and its place, and I learned so much about aspects of health and who these people are and where they came from. And I'm just, all of you, if we didn't say your name, you are special, and we are so grateful for you. And I will create a video that is so beautiful for you in a couple weeks.
She will. Yeah. And, you know, when we go into the season, like, we have ideas of who we want, but it's like this beautiful creation that just comes to life. It's wild to look back and see how this is all unfolded. And like you said, everyone's episode was exactly what we needed in that time. And I think what they needed too, right? Like, it was magic. It was fate. And I think that's something that this season has really taught me is trust that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, that by slowing down and finding again and listening to your intuition, being guided by that it is possible. And that when you listen to your body, you will know what's best and what's right for you. And so Andrew and I both growing up, like, we have trust issues, and trusting in ourselves and that what is meant to unfold will unfold, I think is like, now it's become a no-brainer to me. Like, through my health journey and season 2 and all of the people that I've gotten connected to help with my health through this podcast is like something I could bawl about because I'm so, so grateful. And it's showed me that everything is way more simple than it needs to be. Like, listening to my intuition, being guided by it was like my biggest takeaway. And my other one was that everything is so much simpler. You think about Terry Cole, you think about Alan Stein Jr., the fundamentals. It's like, what is the obvious thing? But our ego loves to complicate it. So it's like fighting through the anxiety, and instead of like running through it or like white knuckling it, it's like, what do I need? Like, let me just slow down and trust and not worry so damn much. Like, trust in the universe, trust in my power. And I think that comes back to like knowing my worth, and that what I do, what I have to say is important, and it will help someone else. That my message in my mess is powerful and will help someone. And there's a reason I went through it. So a lot of self-worth was built in this season, I believe.
Yeah. Well, and I keep thinking too about, I could cry about your experience this season too, because huge things have happened. And if you take a step back or a step above your life right now, like, you have a beautiful home now, and you made us go absolutely viral numerous times. And it was just literally you being you, wearing pajamas in your house with no makeup on and glasses in your kitchen. Like, people are touched by your story. And yes, message in the mess, like, you can say it, but it's, if you really think about it, it is messy to go through all that you've gone through and try all the supplements and see all the doctors and the finances and second guessing yourself and missing out on social events and feeling like crap, like that is so messy. And the way that you've been able to articulate it on here and on TikTok, I could cry. Like, people are feeling hope for the first time from seeing your face. You're like Oprah on TikTok. Like, everything she touches turns to gold. It's like you know, when you have like notifications of like, oh, so-and-so liked your post on our TikToks, we get these notifications and it's just a line of Brooke's face. I'm like, I'll get like 6 and she'll get like 6,072. And it's wonderful because her presence is more than entertainment. You know, it's health information. It's a personal story. It's connection. It's people feeling like they're getting little nuggets that they can ask you a question. They have access to you. They feel like they have someone to talk to. And so this season has been more than just Ivy Unleashed with you, and you have a ton of gut health clients now. And so it's been really cool to watch it explode.
Yeah. I feel like I finally can articulate it, right? Because season 1 was, and our first year business was all like, oh my God, I want to do this. I know I want to do this, but like, I'm still figuring out my health and trying to like gain clarity through this. And now it's like, because of all of the people we've had on the podcast, all of the work we've done, the personal growth outside of the business work, like it's gotten me to this place where I may not have every single answer, but I'm confident that A, I will figure it out because of my past showing me that I will, and B, that I don't have to know everything to still help. And I think that was my biggest takeaway. Like, our coach, Catherine, she always said to me, like, you just have to be the 4th grader to the 3rd grader. And that, oh my gosh, that's something I will never forget. Whenever I feel anxious about going on a coaching call, it's like, just relax. Like, you know so much more than you think you know. And when you tap into what's true for you, you don't have to second guess it, because your experience is your experience, and how other people perceive it, that's their problem. So owning that has been helpful for me, and being open to continually learning and what's the next thing that I want to learn? What do I want to embody? Yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah.
And it's wild too, like what all changes around you. Like it's a domino effect of like, you get your health in place, and then the money comes, and then the following comes, and then like, not saying the confidence comes after that, but it's like, it's the abundance work that we've been doing, is when you believe that you are worthy and you look at things differently, the things around you change 100%. And stepping into that person now, it's what Tansy said, and that's something that has totally helped me, is like, all right, a healed person, what would they do? They would get out of their robe, which I normally don't do before noon, but I'm working on it. You know, they would get ready, or those simple things. They would walk, they would listen to a podcast. Like, who do I want to be, and what would they do now? How would a healed person act? Would they be pissed that they don't feel good? No, they would celebrate what feels good. They would appreciate things so that appreciates. So all of these like little gold nuggets that are finally clicking, and I'm so happy that I get to share it with everyone, that it's resonating with them too.
Yeah. It's been very cool. It's been very fun to watch and to see what people are asking you. Cause like Brooke has to answer all these questions because I don't know them.
I learned that if you have a latex allergy, that you shouldn't have papaya or exotic fruits yesterday. So again, I don't know everything. I just know what's helped me. And what's cool is people feel that it's a safe place to share what's helped them or be vulnerable so that it does help other people. So as many trolls as there are out there, I think we've gotten really good at being like, you know what? We're helping a lot of people, and that's what we're focusing on.
Yeah. I don't care what people call me or what they say, because I'm just like, just thinking about how sad they must be inside. Like, we just say, sending you so much love, dude, or chick, like whatever. It doesn't matter, because if you have to sit on your phone and say something hateful, like, I'm not even going to tap into that. I'm not
entertaining that energy.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And so bring on the trolls, whatever. What do you do?
We'll take the engagement. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what are your biggest takeaways from season 2? Because I've seen you transform, and I'll share that, but I want to hear it from you first.
I think just as far as the podcast goes, I I'm the person that does the like initiation with getting guests on. And a big part of that is having confidence to reach out to the people. Right. And so Brooke and I have all these interests, and I'll touch base with her and get an idea of kind of what she's thinking for topics. And then I'm the one that's pitching to these people like, hey, whatever. And my confidence has gone up in that big time. And like, you know what, if someone says no, they say no, or they'll come back around. And so having the courage to reach out to a Terry Cole, you know, an Alan Stein Jr., these people that have a huge following and have written many books and are on all kinds of apps that are keep popping up. Like, you know, you could have the thought, who am I to reach out? But also like, whatever, if they don't talk to us, they don't talk to us. And so I am taking the limits off of that. I don't even care. If someone interests me that I think that has a story to share or is doing something cool, I just reach out. And I'm just genuinely like, this is why we think you're cool. And if you would talk with us for an hour, that would be a game changer for me and everyone that listens to our podcast. Please.
Yeah. And here's how it would benefit you. You know, that's something that we talked with Alan Stein Jr. about is when you reach out to people, it's not, can you help me do this? Can I pick your brain? It's like, here's the value I can provide you. And so that's something that brings us so much joy is sharing the shit out of our guests and their stories and uplifting them so that their work that is so, so beautiful, more people can get it.
Yeah. And I think we are different in this space in that people are surprised by how kind we are in business. They're surprised at how much we share their work. It's almost, they feel like there's a catch and we're like, hey, we have a shared folder. You have free content. I already made it all. You can have it. And people are like, wait, what? You know? And it's so, when Brooke and I say there's room for us all and we're really honestly trying to uplift voices, it is. It's like, if you're doing something cool, why wouldn't we share you?
And think about how many people are on the internet. Like, you have to fight to get your 10 minutes of fame or your one video that goes viral, right? Like, when you have such incredible work like the guests on Ivy Unleashed do, like, you deserve the exposure. And like, I don't know, we're just light workers, you know, Gold Ivy over here. There's a reason it's Gold Ivy.
But we're like, why not? You know, there's so many different ways to do business. And I think I'm just really feel empowered this past season to take the limits off. Like I said a couple episodes ago, where I don't know why we put these ceilings on ourselves of what we're capable of, or how much money we can make, or how kind we can be, or how we can change. Like Meg's Pulvermacher that was on was talking about like challenging yourself to like try on some new shoes, you know, like start talking a little bit differently and see how it feels. Like, you don't have to stay in this box. You can change things up. And so for season 3, I'm going to challenge myself to like learn some new things, have some like quirky guests on that wouldn't be something that would be normally in our lineup, you know, and I don't know what it is yet. Like what else I want to try on or dabble in. Like, I don't know what that's going to be because I have my, you know, go-tos. I love a good story and I love a good self-growth chat, but we'll see.
I think it's important to know, like, you can change your mind. And that's something we're learning too, is like what our vision is for season 3. It's going to change because that's life, and tapping into what feels good in the moment is the right choice. I feel like we have this new power within us that we're really practicing as in terms of abundance and intuition and like having fun, and that the fun is powerful and meaningful and productive.
Yeah. Well, and something I keep thinking about too is with our reputation now, like having 2 full seasons and over 100 episodes, you become kind of legit, or like more legit than you were, you know? And I think
we mean business. We're serious here.
Well, we're just very consistent people. We release at least an episode every Monday when we're on. You know, we take like a 2-month break the end of each year, but I think showing up that consistent for a couple of years, people are like, I can't believe you do this every week, like the guests that we have on. And well, I think too, just having the reputation now that we have, I think it's that we proved what we already knew this. We knew we were going to provide this. We knew we were going to be this consistent, but I think people now see that we mean business, and we're very serious when we say we want to hear your stories. We have aired them and it's been transformational. And so we want to hear from you, the listeners too, of, what has inspired you? What do you want more of? Like, what topics haven't we covered? This week, we had a few people reach out saying, like, you haven't talked about this yet. And it's so helpful. Send us your feedback on what you want to hear and what you liked, what you don't like, what you want more of. If you have a guest you have in mind, if you have a topic that we haven't talked about that's really intriguing to you, it's important for us to keep delivering what you want to hear.
Yeah. And we read all the reviews. They mean the world to us. So please keep leaving reviews. Let us know what you like on there, what episodes speak to you. And know that by just taking a couple seconds out of your day to do so, it helps our growth so much. And it helps us reach other people to inspire them, which we all need more of.
Something we forgot to mention at the beginning of the episode was that we have questions from the listeners and followers. We asked you to provide some questions, and you did. So let's answer them.
Yeah. First question. What ways have you seen each other grow and evolve since starting Gold Ivy Health Co.?
Oh, since starting. Wow.
I would say with you, it's been abundance. It's been tapping into woo-woo-y things that I'm obsessed with, like dancing when we make money and playing a song that cultivates good energy and asking the universe for what we want and manifesting and the science behind it. With me, I'm all in the alternative medicine because of my health. And I think it's been really cool to watch you be like, ooh, there is some science behind this. I will meditate and I'll feel some benefits of it. So I think going from like hard to like feeling and giving yourself the compassion too, like watching how you balance motherhood and being an amazing friend and business partner to me and wife to Justin. Like, you are juggling so much. And like, you've always been a powerhouse, but like, you just amaze me with what you're capable of and your positive attitude. And to be able to work so hard and still have the heart you do and how much you care. Like, I think I just love you more every day.
Oh, that's so sweet. It's so funny because when you say that, and I think about lessons I've learned, and I'll probably cry because it's what I do, is when you say like the go hard and the, like, I think of like the grit, right? The grit versus grace episode is a big part of that grit, and that go hard also came with a lot of self-criticism, which turns into criticism of others, right? And it's something I've been working on with a therapist and a coach, a couple coaches, always more to work on. And that is something that I have been noticing, and probably what you're noticing is that it starts from within for myself, of like, you can't be everything all the time. And that's not actually going very well because my inner critic was so harsh, and that's something that's gotten nicer the last 2 years, which means I've gotten nicer to everybody else around me. So you're welcome, everybody. But yeah, I didn't even know anything about chiropractic work. Like, you're onto something. And then I was also thinking, manifesting is like antichrist, and it made me question with my faith and all of these things of like, is this okay? And really tuning into my faith and getting stronger in my faith. It's, again, the outside noise that can tell you what you're doing is wrong, right? It can tell you all these things. Well, this means that, and this means that. And it's like, you know what? If I listened to what everybody said about the Christian religion growing up, I wouldn't have been Christian. Like, the reason that I'm Christian and have the faith I have is from me sitting by myself and reading the Bible as a kid in my room. And me, myself, taking myself to church and listening to sermons and hearing it myself of what God was saying to me. And the second I listen to anybody else and their perception of what God's saying, it's full of judgment. It's full of criticism. It's their perception of it. It's not facts, and it's not my relationship with God and Jesus, right? And so as we've been doing these episodes, they are woo-woo-y sometimes. And I'm like, is this okay, Lord? Are we all right? Like, I'm going to pray on this. And wanting more money is not wrong. It's not greedy. Wanting to do big things in your life isn't wrong. Like, you can glorify God in those things, and you can serve people, and you can touch lives, and you can make an impact by thinking bigger and wanting more, as long as your heart is aligned in the right place. And so that's how I feel like from what you're saying, I'm like, wow, I have gotten softer and I'm happy about it, because the harder you are on yourself, the harder you are on everybody else. And then you're just angry all the time and it sucks. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting. Like when you think of a friend evolving, you know, you can say that about your friends as, you know, through the years, you're friends with them, but it's different when you're business partners. It's like on fire. It's like, I see.
And when you're in the personal development space.
Right. It's like, we see everything. Like Brooke walks in my house when my house is chaotic as hell. Like the other day, she walked in and I had overslept. She had to wake me up for a workout. The solar panel people walked in the door. My kid was screaming at the top of the stairs. My house was a mess. And she was just like sitting there with a smile. And so you've always been, of the two of us, the grace person. But your heart is just so pure. Like, I don't even know if you realize how kind and sweet and gentle of a person you are. I could cry again. But it is so nice to be in business with someone that cares so deeply about people and can just give them grace at any turning point. Like, you're never like, nope, we really need to pull this out, Andrea, ever. And I'm not. I'm like, Brooke, come on, let's, we said we would, so we're doing it. So I appreciate that. And I think that's probably what makes us work pretty well together.
I'm the softie, you're the hardy.
Yes. 100%.
No, I think we balance each other very well. And, you know, one of the questions we got from the listeners was, what do you two bicker about the most?
Oh.
And like, we don't.
Yeah.
Like, if something's annoying, like, we just give each other shit. But I think what makes it work so well is we are not sisters, but we're family, and we're not blood. And so there's such a deep respect where, like, if we were sisters, we'd probably talk to each other differently.
Yeah.
We would have like a way more history. And I feel like our dynamic is so perfect. And also the different things we're going through, like different ages, it just keeps things really interesting and really fun.
Yeah. And well, I think too, something that makes it work really well is that we each have a really foreign territory. As much as we have a ton in common and we're both connected to this family, I have no idea what it's like to be sick. And I have no idea what it would be like to feel the way that you feel and the things that you have to do. And you have absolutely no idea what it would be like to have 3 kids.
Thank God.
And
we all have our own battles.
I feel like we can like connect on, you know, what we're doing, our purpose. We both are into personal development and have relationships and care. And we both have the best intentions for each other and for what we're doing. But you have no idea what it would be like to manage what I manage, and I have no idea what it would be like. So I feel like the times that we have to give each other grace, it's like, help me understand, because I have no clue. You know, I'm like, Brooke, I was up all night with my kids, and she was like, I was puking over my lunch, and it's like, it's, I think
we're celebrating each other's humanness.
Yeah. Yeah. And it could be hard as business partners if all we cared about was money or fame or whatever, but we don't. Like, we're just trying to have a life that feels true and beautiful and fun and full of joy. And we know that what we're doing is going to create that, but we can't burn ourselves out. In the meantime, it's that tricky balance of let's go and let's chill.
Yeah. And I think we're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Like, we could always be doing more. And when you think about everything that we are balancing, it's a lot. But we're still having fun with it, and being a mom of 3 and going through an illness and trying to make the most of it and having a positive attitude. Like, life's hard.
You know what's funny is the number one thing we get for feedback from guests that are on or that we interact with is, man, you guys are fun. Like, that was fun. Like, we'll get that in the emails or text messages when we celebrate people. Like, when you're on the podcast, we light you up. You get texts, you get emails, you are all over our social. You guys see it. But not only that, it's behind the scenes. Like, we are so grateful and, send gifts and cards and things because you're sharing your story matters, and we truly are so grateful. So when you're here, we are having fun because we can't even believe you're here. It's so cool. And so as much as we're managing a lot, I think we are still figuring out how to have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it is heavy things that we're dealing with, you know, thinking about people's stories too. It's that taking something so serious because it deserves to be taken serious, but also understanding that life is so short and that we do need to have fun. Like, I feel like that's a really good balance that we have is we take our work really serious, but we want to enjoy it too.
Yeah. So this season, I would say with Kaylee, Allie, Holly, and Jolene, those were 4 guests that we got pretty nervous beforehand because, like you're saying, like we take their stories very seriously, and we want to make sure we're not asking an offensive question or getting too personal if they're not ready for it. And so we try and be really careful with those people too. So yeah, we do have fun, but also there is a side of it where, like Brooke said, we take it very seriously that you trust us to sit here with you during your hardest moments of your life.
Yeah.
These stories that might have shame weaved in, or tumultuous relationships, or family dynamics that are really hard to talk about and air out to 63 countries. Like, it's a big deal. And so Brooke and I, you know, we don't always, you walk in and we're like 100% feel like we got this. We're like, we hope we're going to do okay. And we are so thankful you're here. And
yeah, like we get scared shitless too, people. We, you know, there's a lot of discomfort in this work. And I think normalizing the humanness and getting comfortable with talking about uncomfortable things is something that Andrea and I have always been obsessed with. Like, we love deep conversations. There's no room for small talk with us. And we've had to face some pretty big stories and topics that scare the living shit out of us, but we know how important it is. And so I think that's helped us grow too, is like talking about grief and sitting with someone in such an uncomfortable space, but showing them that this is a safe space.
yeah,
And that's something that I'm so proud of us for doing, is doing it when we're scared and knowing the greater good of what we're doing.
yeah, those grief episodes are ones that people really resonate with because it, like you said, it's the human experience. Nothing is more raw than losing a child.
Yeah.
Nothing is harder to talk about than that. There's just nothing harder. And
grief hits everyone. It's something that so many people can resonate with. Yeah, we've talked a lot about our guests. So one of the questions we got, the last question we'll touch on that our listener sent in, was how do you land guests for Ivy Unleashed? And it's something that Andrea owns. So let's hear how your magic happens.
yeah, well, first it starts with interest between Brooke and I, because we feel like if we're interested in it, someone else has got to be, right? And if we just get curious with any topic, it'll be good, right? But what we do is we find someone that intrigues us and
Stalk the shit out of them.
stalk them. Yeah. Well, most of the time we've been following them for a while. So we've been stalking our prey for a while. And so by the time I send them an email or a message on Instagram, I know their whole story. I'm like, I've been watching you. I know this, and about you. And this is how I feel you would resonate with our listeners, because they're mostly female. They're mostly this age. And what you have to offer is powerful. So I just let them know how awesome they are and what value I think they would offer our listeners, and then how we will uplift them. You know, we have a blog and socials, and we light them up and share. And I think that piece of it, knowing like we really want to uplift you and share your message, it's for our listeners and it's for you. But as far as topics go, I think it's kind of divine intervention.
I was going to say, it's like who falls in our lap, who we see on social media, word of mouth, people who, hey, this person has a really cool story, or friends of friends, like people that we know. That's been awesome. Like your high school friend that we just sat down with, Megs. Like,
Yes.
what?
Yes. Yeah. A lot of it has been word of mouth. It's been a listener sends us an email like, hey, this person's cool. Or someone randomly messages us and says, I have a cool story.
Yeah, like divine intervention was me feeling the need to post Ed Milet's podcast on our story and tag Allenstein Jr. and him responding.
We're like, hi, do you want to talk with us? Because you're cool. No, that's not how we did it. But yeah, I think it's just our interest. It's having a genuine conversation. Like I approach them I honestly think what you're doing is incredible work and I would love to highlight it. And I have a lot more questions and so does Brooke. Or Brooke's been going through this and this really lines up with, I feel like you might have some answers for her and going from there. And so let's just talk about 2023. We have some huge guests coming
up.
So January 1st is when we will kick off season 3, just like we always do. The new year, we go through October. We take November, December off. You might hear a little bit from us, but our guest episodes coming. We have Jessie Golden, who is the CEO of the Golden Secrets skincare line. She's an author. She has been through so much. She has a very cool story. Suffered from rheumatoid arthritis.
She's all about natural healing. We've been using her products. And she has a blog. She has been such a gift. So be sure to follow her. And follow along because we're going to be sharing what we've been up to in the meantime. So although we're taking a break from Ivy Unleashed, we'll still be all over social.
We have Josh Perry, a pro BMX biker who has a wild story. I'm just going to leave it at that, but it's incredible. And he's a speaker. And then another one is Tara Renzi. I'm not sure how you say her last name, but she's an author and a speaker. We have Danny J, who is a TEDx speaker and a podcast host. And again, an amazing story. So all of these speakers, it's not just they're big entrepreneurs or CEOs or professional athletes. Like they have been through it and have a very important and powerful message to spread. And we have other guests too, but those are just a few and we cannot wait to sit down with them and we cannot wait to share them with you.
Yeah, we are so excited. So you may be thinking, okay, from now until January 1st, what are you two going to be doing? And we are excited to announce, if you follow us on social media, you've seen that we have been running workouts and that exercise is a huge piece of who we are, what makes us feel good. We believe so strongly in the mind-body connection. And Ivy Unleashed is our mind piece. It's all about mental health and digging into perspective and mindset. And again, it's the mind piece of mind-body. And so we are now ready to launch the body part, which sounds kind of funny. But basically, it's a platform where you have access to so many workouts categorized in upper body, lower body, strength training, HIIT. We're going to have Pilates. We're going to have a little bit of stretching, of yoga, of dance. We're going to have it all for a price that is going to be unmatched. And so we are working so hard on getting that up and ready. So be sure to follow us at Gold Ivy Health Co. for announcements on that. Oh, I'm so excited.
So exciting. Oh, and it's something that we've really wanted to have accessible to people for a price that you can't turn down, that feels affordable. It feels like you can do it anywhere. It's something that we've been really working hard on and are going to provide it before the new year.
Yeah, we're going to have monthly challenges. We'll have weekly workout schedules because a lot of feedback we've gotten is like, we just want to be told what to do. So we'll have whether you're beginner, intermediate, advanced, whatever time you have, weights, no weights. The point of it is that it's accessible for all. No matter where you are, you can move your body and feel good.
So look out for Move. We will be announcing the launch date very soon. Before we get into the 3 gold stars and our piece of gold, we just want to thank you again so much for listening and encourage you to take care of yourself. You know, we say it all the time, you've got one life to live, life's short and all these things, but that never really sinks in, I don't think. But in these next 2 months, I just really want you to think about what you need. You know, is it your career that needs a shift? Is it your morning routine that needs a shift? Is it how you check in with yourself? Are you checking in with yourself? You know, are you taking time to hear yourself? Because what we're all about, and what this podcast is all about, yes, we're filling your airwaves with our voices, but it's for you. It's for you to check in with you and for you to hear yourself on what needs attention. And go back, you can look at our topics to see, you know, maybe you need some input on something, maybe you need some ideas, sure. But really, you know. turn it off for a second. We give you permission and tune into yourself and what it is that you want to take care of in these last 2 months of 2022 before we hit up 2023. It's just so important to take charge of your life, and only you can do that.
Yeah. So we give you permission to dig in, quiet the outside noise. We just ask that you come back January 1st for season 3.
It's going to be a great year. I'm so excited.
We're so excited. Thank you all for following us in this journey, providing your feedback. Be sure to go leave a review so we know what you want to see more of in 2023. And for the last 3 gold stars of 2022, season 2, let's leave you with them.
Number 1, make a self check-in for 5 minutes a day. It doesn't matter where this is. It could be the beginning of your day, midday, end of the day. And the self check-in is asking yourself, either if it's the beginning of the day, how am I going to take care of myself today? Midday, how's it going so far? And what am I going to do the rest of the day? Or at the end of the day saying, how did I take care of myself today? Either sit and think about it, write it down, but ask yourself that.
Yeah, and if you don't have 5 minutes, you need to reassess how you're spending your time, because you are worth it. This is so, so important. We can't stress it enough. Number 2 is elevate your energy. Whatever that looks like for you, do it. Energy is health. Energy is everything. If we don't have energy, you can't make changes. You can't align with what's important to you because you feel like crap.
Should we show them what we do before an episode?
Yeah, so arms come to a goalpost, elbows out. On the inhale through your nose, you're going to pump your arms up. And on the exhale through your nose, arms come down. It looks like this. This is from my good friend, Tony Robbins.
We do this before we start an episode.
Gets the energy pumping.
All right, and number 3, try something new that gets you out of your comfort zone. Not only that, schedule it so it actually happens.
Yeah, if you want to do it, it's a plan. If you schedule it, it's reality. Schedule, schedule, schedule. And last but not least, your piece of gold.
The last piece of gold of season 2
comes from our good friend, Courtney Burnett. And she says, if we want to live, we have to find a way to switch when will to today I will.
This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold.